Good evening, folks. It is another lovely day in Northern California where it's cooler, and generally near the coast it's always cooler. A little bit more inland it's toastier and warmer and sunnier, but it's one of those sunny days on the coast where if you're standing in the sun it's a broiling 80 degrees. So but in the shade it's a comfortable maybe 65. There's a great breeze rolling through the forest, and in this forest of coniferous coastal trees, where there is water there is life. That's a known fact. But to people like me, it means where there's water, there are some really juicy plants. So let's dive right into that. And as we're moving through the forest, we're probably going to see a lot of more interesting plants that don't need to be growing directly in water, or there's all kinds of different conditions. You'll see. We're going to learn about this stuff, huh? So we're all, by now, I hope by now, familiar with Polysticum unitum, the western sword fern. This one right here on screen has a very wide distribution. I mean, from southern or coastal Alaska all the way down to pretty much San Luis Obispo or something. And it's pretty much everywhere, extremely common, but let's not knock it. All right, it's a fern and it's great, but one that is even better to me is right here. This is the sword fern, kind of in the way. Sorry buddy, thank you. Oh, striking, is it not? So this is commonly referred to as the deer fern, but in Latin and botanists prefer it as, sorry, I'm being eaten alive as mosquitoes, so you're going to hear a lot of complaining about that. But this is Struthiopsis spicant. Now, they have a very interesting distribution of all over the Pacific Northwest, so Alaska all the way down to maybe most of northern and central California, but strictly along the coast. But this is actually more like the most southern distribution I've seen of this species in California. So they really love it where it's cool, damp, and moist, but extra cool, damp, and moist. Like, there are certain places that you could say are cool and damp and moist, like maybe Armstrong Woods, but I don't see any of the species there. So where we are in Salt Point State Park, it's much more cooler. Almost, you could say, almost a temperate rainforest, but it only rains about maybe 38 to 40 inches a year here. For it to be considered a temperate rainforest, it has to be raining pretty much like over 100 or so inches a year. So maybe actually 80 is, I think, the qualifying. But this beautiful beast, what is really notable about this species, now I don't see it happening right now, but this species, the family of ferns it's in is called the Liliaceae, and in that family of ferns, the fronds that are carrying the spores look totally different than the ferns that produce photosynthesis. the fronds of that have spores. I think this might be the leftovers of one, but I don't know, maybe not. But all right, well, that's everything on that juicy bastard. Here's some of the new growth. These are not, they look like sterile fronds actually. These are the sterile fronds and these are the fertile, I think these are fertile fronds, or it could just be new growth. Hard to say. And ferns require water to be able to fertilize their spores. So it's a very complicated process, but it's been going on for a long time. So, but we're gonna see hopefully some more of this guy. This is Clintonia andrewsiana in the lily family, Liliaceae. And of course, lots of this Oxalis oregana in the Oxalis family. Some people call them like clovers or some shit, but look, this looks like a clover, but it's not. Clovers are in the bean family, the Fabaceae. Oxalis, this guy, Oxalis is in the Oxalidaceae. And look, like, they look similar, fuzziness and everything, but totally different. The major overstory are, of course, Sequoia sempervirens, the giant redwood. Some of these, wow, it's so big. They're huge. Like this one, that is so tall, but it looks like it'd be a Douglas fir. Pseudotsuga menziesii. From the bark, it looks like it would be. But another tree that grows in this forest, Tsuga heterophylla, looks very similar. Here's the bark of that Pseudotsuga menziesii right here. The Douglas fir. Big. And of course, the dominant understory tree right here is Notholithocarpus densiflorus, the tan oak. Family is the oak family, the Fagaceae. So, carrying on. Some real nice stuff here. In this region of Salt Point, there is a slightly separate, still conjoined part of the park that is called the Cruce Rhododendron Preserve. And it's land that was set aside because there was a dense population of the Pacific rhododendron. That's California's native species of rhododendron. But they just kind of show up out of nowhere sometimes. So when we see one, I will most certainly flip my lid. They are so gorgeous. So this is neat, something I wanted to show you. So when the tan oak has leaves that are unfurling, at first they look like this. They all come out in one arrangement and they're covered in trichomes. Now these are like protective scales along the terminal bud. Eventually they get longer, and then eventually when they open up, at first they're this golden fuzzy. They're always fuzzy. And then once this little golden leaf gets some more life juice in it, it starts turning red. As this is a pigment that the plant produces that acts as kind of a natural sunblock. Here's a good example of the golden one slowly turning red, or it might be the other way around. But yeah, tan oaks they're very well adapted to surviving under just enormous trees in the shade. But they're a crucial part of this ecosystem because they produce lots of acorns for, you know, the secondary consumers like squirrels and some bird species and rats, or not rats, or voles, or, you know, the small critters that mostly just eat plants and bugs. So so nice. Ah, there she is. Okay, this is a real treat to see. If I can get a good look at her. Wow. So, this is not an orchid. This is a parasitic plant in the blueberry family, the Ericaceae, that is called Corallorhiza maculata. It's commonly called the coral root, I think. So what it does is suck out the nutrients from probably tan oaks and produces little tiny seeds in these capsules that just dump out and probably get carried away in the rain and find a new place. So these guys, their roots, when they're in the seed bank, they kind of just wait there, and their seeds kind of dig. The roots dig and dig until they find a host plant, and then, let's just say for illustration's purposes, this twig is the root of the coral root, this one, and this branch is the root of a tan oak. It goes in, it makes contact, and then, well, I just broke it, but it makes contact. And when it makes contact, it starts sucking out nutrients, and through a root system that's called a haustoria. And the haustoria is pretty much the organ of the plant that steals the nutrients from the plants around it. And because of that parasitic relationship, then the species survives, and it really doesn't do a lot of damage to the tan oaks. Maybe just slows it down just a little bit, but it's not such a big deal. There's another one. So they're pretty, kind of pretty. Yeah. So pretty neat to see those, I'd say. A fallen bishop pine. Here's another one of those deer ferns, Struthiopsis spicant. So, I'd say top 10 fern species in the world. And their distribution, as I was talking about a little earlier, that's a whole little, see that? That's all that deer fern right there. Their distribution is the Pacific coast, and then parts of Canada and Northern America, and then it jumps across the Atlantic and is in parts of Europe, and also on a tiny island off of the coast of Morocco called Madeira. It's also found there. So I ponder if that species of fern growing on an island in the Atlantic is becoming a subspecies of that fern. Now look at this. So this is going to be great. This tree fell over in the trail, so the camera is going to get a little shaky. Look at that coral root. Must be a young one. And while we're down here, this is a little plant, very cute, very fuzzy, in the hydrangea family, Hydrangeaceae, called modesty. Modesta, no, hold on, Whipplea modesta, that's it. Whipplea modesta. He's got a whip. They're pretty cute. Little fuzzy plants. I'm noticing these coral roots everywhere. Here's one in bloom, little white flowers. Yeah. How's that? That's pretty cool. Here's the flower of the Whipplea modesta. Little white flowers indeed. So yeah, we're in the shady forest now. And it's pretty great. One of my favorite hikes is further down into the ravine down there. We're gonna go check that out because it's gonna be epic. So lots of diversity of riparian plants. So like I was saying earlier, where there's water, there's juicy plants. And that's because the ecosystem around it is known as the riparian ecosystem, which is where water either flows continuously or somewhat continuously, like ephemeral places, but that's a little different. Here, it's continuous. Like, this is an ephemeral creek. It's just kind of whatever, but still, plants there get enough water to make it. And but where there is lots of water, that changes the game, you see. So, looking at this landscape that we're now walking in, we're kind of walking out of the dense forest into an area where it's less dense, and there is a lot more shrubby plants, but guess what? There's still an abundance of water. So, and of course, there's a lot more rainfall here. So, one of the common plants that you get is salal, Gaultheria shallon, also in the blueberry family, Ericaceae. And you get here, this one. I don't have to step into habitat, I'd rather not sometimes. Here, this is Vaccinium ovatum, the black huckleberry, also in the blueberry family. And this is rhododendron macrophyllum, also in the blueberry family. And this is one of our target plants for today. Say hello. And it's characterized by just, of course, these big, luscious green leaves and large, beautiful pinkish or magenta flowers. Here's one. We're going to start seeing more of them, but that's it. Beautiful, huh? So, being in the blueberry family that has flowers like this, so I'm just blown away how pretty these plants are. Simply fabulous. Ah, what are you? Yeah, I think that's just a Vaccinium ovatum. Where is... Oh, look at that nice cluster of them in the shade. Nearly every inch of this forest, the branches are just absolutely covered in lichens and mosses. It's just great. It does rain a lot here. Here's a little seep. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Look, dry soil, mushy soil, because right here is a seep. Groundwater being discharged out. So, because of that, what we got? Well, probably see a lot more of these. This is the one I'm interested in. This is Morella californica, and or is it Myrica? No, it's Myrica californica. It used to be called Morella. The California, what was it called? Wax myrtle, I think is what they call it. Not a myrtle. I mean, myrtle is a word that's kind of used to describe a lot of actually different groups of plants. So yeah, like what the hell? I mean, you might think of crepe myrtle. That's in the pomegranate family. Some people refer to different species of syzygium as a myrtle. That's in the guava family, the eucalyptus family as well. Some members of that eucalyptus family call them myrtles. This right here is in its own family, which is a sister group to the oak family, the Fagaceae, but this one is in the order Phagales, but in the family Maricaceae. So anyways, this is a great plant for anybody who lives in like most of California. It grows fast as hell, forms a nice privacy hedge, and it's very useful for native gardening because it has berries that attract many species of birds. One of them being one of my favorites, called the cedar waxwing. So, very pretty bird. And let's keep moving. Got a lot of ground to cover. So, okay. You know, the occasional redwood and stuff. Oh, look at that. We got a golden chinkapin. Another member of the oak family. And these are most related to chestnuts. So this guy, the golden chinkapin, because of those golden undersides of those leaves. Chrysolipsis chrysolipa. Very great plant. And oh, this is what I came here for as well. So in places where there are seeps as well, now seeps don't always have to show up on the ground. There can be lots of moving water underneath as well. But look at this. It's like Disneyland for me. All right, so this is Rhododendron columbianum, another species in the blueberry family, the Ericaceae, and commonly called the Labrador tea. I guess people used to make a tea out of this. Its distribution is from pretty much southern Alaska, British Columbia, and of course Washington, Oregon, and California. But this is kind of as south as in California as it gets. It needs to grow in damp, cool places. Oh, hello, bee. So, as well, this one has a much more wider distribution. This one with the brown tips right here, that'd be Juncus effusus, and the Juncaceae, that's related to grasses. So, but man, what a great plant, that Labrador tea. Okay. It also grows in, I think, a region of Nova Scotia called Labrador. I don't know. All right, whatever. We're gonna call it Rhododendron columbianum. All right. Now, one that, look at this. You probably can't see it yet. Now, I'm not sure yet of what species of lily this is, but I guess it could be Lilium parvum, but I don't know. Maybe it's, no, it's too big to be the western tiger lily. But just how incredible. Look at those. See how beautiful that is. Lilium. Some species of lily. Absolutely gorgeous, flawless. You guys listen to George Michael? You know that song? You gotta go to the city. Always the same. Absolutely flawless. Do 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 do. Do do do. No good, no good, no good. Always the same. Absolutely flawless. All right. So here's another beautiful specimen of rhododendron. Come here, you. Rhododendron macrophyllum. No, wait. Yeah, macrophyllum. Means big leaf in Latin. How gorgeous are you? God damn. Both of those rhododendron species. Just stunners. Love them. Oh, what happened here? Poor guy got busted. And this was a species that I really wanted to see, goddammit. Shit. Is there any chance of saving him? What? Oh, maybe it's summer dormant. Oh no, that sounds like rot. I mean, is he alive? If I can pull out the core, these are, oh, yeah, that's died from root rot. Terrible shame that is. Because they love the open, exposed, sunny places. Well, that was commonly called the bear grass. What is it called again? It's not a Xanthoria. It looks like one though. Hold on. Xerophyllum with Xerophyllum tenax. Very cool plant in the asparagus family. Asparagiaceae. You don't see them too often. You don't see this too often either. What is this? Another plant I'm gonna have to do some research on. That's a cute little bean fabid plant. Fabid means bean, okay? You're gonna start learning this shit, I hope. Anyways. Cute little guy. It's like a millimeter. There's the whole flower. The banner, wings, and keel. Tiny. Forms a nice carpet though. All right, let's get a move on. So that little adventure, you know, it's summer is approaching. It's still spring, but it's approaching fast. You know, June, officially the dry season has started. All the plants are starting to respond to that. But look how pretty this little redwood shoots are. Just such a neat organization that they have. They grow up and then fan out, and they grow up and fan out. So lichens. Okay. You know, at a botanist's pace, we are walking, stopping to see everything. It's just the way it is. No rush. I don't like to rush, man. Occasionally, I will speed, but I don't like. I like doing it, but I don't like doing it. Okay. Now you know. Oh, it's gorgeous. You see it? Yeah. That's so pretty. And that tan oak. See, tan oaks are not the only ones that have that red sunblock. You know. So, moving on. Oh, where did he? Where is he? I saw something. Hold on. Where is he? Okay. There he is. Ah. Okay, look at these beautiful magenta flowers. Wondering what that is, huh? That is Rhinotropis californica in the family, the Polygalaceae, which is within the order Phobales. So these are pretty much related to beans. Beans are also in the order Phobales. But the Polygalaceae is a family of, you could say, bean cousins or something. Yeah. That's so pretty. It's like the only one I've seen in this whole forest. So it's worth going up that hill in a rush. So, well, let's go down into the Phillips Gulch Trail. There's some real good shit down here, you know, juicy plants. Like this guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So all that noise is one thing. That's the fruit of the red huckleberry, and there's the leaves. No, I dropped it. Okay. Tart. But sweet. So these guys, so you can barely see them. Tiny leaves, big though. I mean, like maybe 8 feet tall, but that's quite impressive. Must be a very old plant. It's growing out of this stump. Now you see this? This is cool, all right? So, growing out of this stump, epiphytically, which means it's growing essentially without soil or very little soil. Epiphytically is like growing out of a tree branch or a tree stump. All right, are these two huckleberry bushes, and that's just amazing that they have enough rainfall to do that here. It's very important that they have enough water to survive. So here's the red huckleberry. That's what's that? Hold on. Oh man, brain fog. It'll come back to me. Burp. But lots of them here growing epiphytically. Ooh. So is this salal? Yeah. This Galtheria shallon. And ooh, I like it when these are really big, these macrophyllum. Cool, huh? This big plant. I like it too when they're big but showy, or how you say. See that one? No, that's a good like 9 or 10 footer. That's real nice. Looks like a tropical plant. There's another one. See that? I mean, just these leaves, just how beautiful is that? Ooh. Damn, that just gave me an idea. You can put a knife in your shoelaces and kick someone. Don't do that. It's probably gonna fly off anyways and then end horrifically. Oh, what is that? It kind of looks like digitalis, but I can tell it's not. It smells good. The foliage, I don't know. Sure is pretty. Neat. See, look that. Look at that. There's a big ass stump, and it's full of, just absolutely full of these black huckleberries, and oh my god, and a rhododendron. Is this one right here is growing. See that? I can shake it, so I know that's that rhododendron the one, rhododendron macrophyllum. The plant of the day. I'm seeing so many coral roots. Corallorhiza maculata. That parasitic plant in the blueberry family. Mm-hmm. Okie dokie. I'm rushing. Gotta chill out, bruh. Just want to get down to that creek so I can see that good shit. Oh, but I also need to consider, I don't know if I'll have the bandwidth for that. There's like a little orchid species. It's not in bloom right now, but it has the prettiest leaves though. And I know like one of them in this forest that's growing under a what do you call those? A spruce tree of some kind. Wow. That's nice, huh? Take me back to the Cretaceous. It's major beef, and then it just is a dead tree. Not really dead. These are its clones, but the mother tree, the big one, probably the original one that sprouted however many thousand or hundreds of years ago, and succumbed to something, and then those huckleberries just grew out of it. So cool, huh? Mother Nature takes no prisoners, huh? So the lighting might be kind of shit because we're in a deep ravine and it's getting ever closer to sundown. But how deep is this ravine? Okay. It's pretty deep. I remember. Used to hike here a lot. And then I stopped. But I'm glad to be here. Something about this place, Salt Point, just has such a calming and healing energy to me. You know? So, how's it going here? Any closer? Should I run? Why not? Nice Douglas iris. Iris Douglasiana. That's got to be an easy one for you. Come on. That's almost a freebie. I know it is free, of course, but... Oh. Okay, we got a... Yes! Yes! Thank you, Lord. Come here. Yeah! Okay, can I zoom in on these tiny, fucking tiny, tiny, I know I'm tiny, don't step on me. Okay, so, can I get any closer? No. Okay. These are the flowers of the redwood inside out flower. Long name, I know. And maybe it would help you. Here's some of the leaves. They end in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. It's not like a, it looks like a hectagon or something, but so it's Latin scientific name. Let's just call it scientific name. People don't like to hear Latin. They're like, it's a dead language, who cares? So scientifically known as Vancouveria planipetala. It's like Vancouver and then IA plan e petala. Planipetala, like PLANIPETELA. Planipetala. So that's one of my favorite little guys. Little cute little plant. It's so cute. And then just of course lives amongst enormous dense forests of redwoods and Douglas firs. And